And on to the NAIA ranks, and we have a big rivalry game to kick off the local college season. Dakota Wesleyan will host Dakota State next Thursday night, September 23rd, in what's been a very entertaining game in recent years, some wild games as a matter of fact. And Tigers coach Ross Cimpl joins us. Let's talk about that game quickly, because it's really been cool to renew that rivalry for these two schools.
Well, it has. I mean, there's a ton of local kids that are in that game. You see the community support that game. It's incredible. You're getting 4,000 or 5,000 people, whether it's in Madison or Mitchell, and so just the environment alone has been a lot of fun for our kids and our communities.
Now, your team is going to look a little different. Going to get a couple of kids playing key roles offensively who we've seen all through their high school career. Talk about your offense.
Yeah, Shea Slaughter's going to move into that quarterback spot for us. I mean, he's a guy that's a Harrisburg native and a guy that can throw the ball. Been in our program, it'll be his 4th year, and so in a little bit different role for him in terms of, instead of watching an All-American and a GPAC Player of the Year, now he's the guy that people are watching. And so he's done a phenomenal job in the offseason and taking on a leadership role and just perfecting his game, or working on perfecting his game. And so he's been a guy that we're really putting a lot of pressure on in terms of schematically, and he's handled it all very, very well.
And Laudenberg carrying the ball and Nigabar catching the ball.
Yeah, those two guys don't hurt, you know, and obviously both playmakers, obviously guys that you want to have the ball in their hands, and I think he's making a lot of great decisions, Shea, to get those guys the football, and when those guys, when Shea and he's getting the ball to Spencer and he's getting the ball to Luke, we have a chance that something good happening, and we're seeing that throughout fall camp.
Rivalry hasn't been as cool for you the last 2 years because you've lost to Dakota State. What do they look like, because they lose their great quarterback in Jacob Giles as well?
Yeah, Jacob was a tremendous player, and I actually talked to him after the game this last year when we played him, and tremendous competitor. Probably should have sent him a fruit basket or something for graduation. But it'll be interesting to see who they put in that position. I know they have a backup quarterback that they feel good about, but they just kind of replenish their guys. They got a good stock of Madison kids. Mason Layton and Marcus Vandersbosch and some of those guys that are still filling their roster they're quality football players as well.
And the rest of the GPAC too, pretty good locally with Dordt and Northwestern as well.
Yeah, I mean, the GPAC is going to be interesting. You talk about Northwestern, team that won their first round playoff game, and the year before that they were 3-7. And so the year before they're 3-7, and all of a sudden they're winning a first round playoff game. And so they had a freshman quarterback last year that is very talented, caused a lot of problems for us and a lot of teams. And so they got a good group offensively, especially coming back with their skill positions, and defensively Northwestern defense is kind of one of those things where they've been a mainstay and a staple, and so those guys have been doing a tremendous job over there.
We'll see you next Thursday night, a week from Thursday night.
Hey, good luck, Coach.
Coming up, John Thayer joins us in the studio to talk about 11-man football here in South Dakota. That's next on our Gridiron Preview Show.